Nigeria has 22 airports operated by the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria. Five of these are functional international airports. In addition, there are state airports in airstrips or airfields scattered around the country. Here in Lagos, 3 airports serve the air traffic needs of passengers. First is the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. It was originally known as Lagos International Airport. The new terminal opened officially on 15th of March 1979 and was named after a former Nigerian military head of state, Murtala Mohammed. This international terminal was modeled after the Amsterdam airport. It's the nation's busiest airport with an added cargo terminal open 24 hours daily. "26 foreign airlines plus some of the nation's domestic airlines fly in and out of the terminal each day. The control tower here also takes charge of the air traffic. Two years ago, the terminal was expanded on the D&E wings and extended a few meters forward. The exterior facades of the building was mended to give it a modern look and an expansion of the footprint to create additional capacity and circulation space. New check-in areas and counters as well as immigration desks were added to ease passage for passengers. The General Aviation Terminal is a fan-operated terminal. It was remodeled in 2012 at the cost of 648 million naira. The domestic Terminal 1 in the country had its departure and arrival hall expanded to process about 2.8 million passengers per annum. The airport can handle 12 arriving commercial airplanes at the peak period and 1,500 departing passengers daily. The offices in the one-story facility was built to meet modern airport standards. And lastly, the Murtala Mohammed Airport 2 is the first and only privately funded terminal in Nigeria. It's also the first major build, operate, and transfer project. The MMA2 has an obvious passenger and airline demand and currently handles over 50 flights a day. The airport's distinct features include a state-of-the-art terminal building, a multi-story car park, an apron and cargo shed. Last year, the COPS, the self-service check-in kiosk, was launched and the airline check-in counters increased to 45. news flash takes off with happenings in the nation's military aviation sector as the Nigerian Air Force Training Command in Kaduna State begins flying training for 28 student pilots. The students, who commenced training initially at the 301 Training School in Kaduna, are now at the Air Force Training School in Makurdi, Benue State, following the Harmattan weather condition that affects visibility in the northern part of the country. The purpose of the deployment by the 301 Flying Training School to Makurdi is to maintain the scheduled program lined up for the students.
Our flying training program needs a conducive weather conditions, a very good visibility. So we look at some other areas whereby we have a very good weather, we can deploy our airplanes so that the training will not stop. So this time around, for 301 FTS, we selected to move our team to Makurdi, whereby we have been there before, and we have done a lot of flying program there before. The unit has been in that unit before, and they have a complete local operating procedure for that unit. So 301 FTS is automatically moving to Makurdi. In addition to that, the 303 Flying Training School in Kano, also a training school, will be moving to Enugu for them to have a conducive weather to continue with their flying training program. The school is going to stay at that unit for a complete 3 months. So it will dovetail up to first week of April, whereby we expect the weather to be improving in the northern part of the country.
The Commandant's Ground Training Center, Kaduna, Air Commodore Abdulganiyu Olabisi, while inspecting the trainees before their departure, asked them to stand the rigorous training of the military profession.
The attainment of that vision is predicated on quality human capital development, which is central to the to attaining the strategic objective of that vision. So far, for us at the Ground Training Center, with airmen, airwomen are a pride of source from their reports we get about their performance in the field so far. So we are quite satisfied with the quality of our products because they are doing exactly what we expect them to do in support of the Nigerian national security imperative. For this year, we are going to train 1,600, but they are divided into 2 batches. So for the first batch that you are seeing here, there are 600 of them. So after their graduation in June, another batch will be coming in by July that will graduate in December. We are expecting another 1,000 for that batch. We expect that at the end of their training, they should be able to contribute their quota to strengthening the security of Nigeria.
For the Nigerian Air Force, the training of these young officers will further strengthen its manpower pool. And domestic airlines have been asked to consider the option of mergers and acquisition if they must withstand the competition from foreign carriers and not continue to lick the crumbs from foreign airlines operating into the country. Now, this is coming from the immediate past managing director of Skyway Aviation Handling Company Limited, Olu Owolabi. He added that foreign carriers need the local carriers to be able to have some feeders from the inner parts of the country, especially now that our roads are not highly rated for safety. And outside Nigeria's shores, a South Korean plane carrying 163 passengers has taken off without its front door properly sealed. The Jin Air plane was on its way to Busan but had to turn back to Cebu in the Philippines about half an hour after taking off. But passengers said they suffered headaches and felt pain in their ears. This South Korean passenger, Kim Jin-bae, said he thought he would die because he was numb with a headache. Passengers were, however, put on another plane and landed in Busan 15 hours later than scheduled. The head of Jin Air Busan office, Park Moon-soeng, apologized for the incident. Jin Air, the budget affiliate of Korean Airlines, say they couldn't find any defect, but South Korea says it will review safety at its 6 budget airlines. And finally, Canadian-based British adventurer Tracy Curtis Taylor has paid tribute via her trip to aviation pioneer Amy Johnson's famous flight in 1930, who became the first female pilot to fly solo from England to Australia. Curtis Taylor, who began a 20-day solo flight leaving England on the 1st of October and flying a Boeing 1942 Stearman some 13,000 miles, flew across 23 countries, enjoying spectacular views of the Arabian Desert and the mountains of Myanmar.
Being able to fly an aeroplane like this at low level, halfway around the world, you know, in some of the most epic terrain on the planet, has been beyond anything. My flight is very much a tribute to her. So it is, yet celebrating what the pioneers achieved and what women achieve now in aviation as well.
Most of the plane's technology dates back to the 1920s, with a simple stick and rudder for controls and an open cockpit, exposing Curtis Taylor to the elements.
So as you can see, it's fairly devastating on the skin and the hair and so forth. So it's tiring. It's really tiring. It's the noise, the vibration,
Following the completion of the journey, the Boeing Stearman will be shipped to America and flown across the United States to complete a world flight later in 2016. That's according to Curtis Taylor's website. Amy Johnson, one of aviation's pioneer female pilots, died in 1941, aged 37. After her plane crashed into the near-freezing waters of the Thames estuary in England.
This is our final destination on the program. Please feel free to reach us on our feedback platform. I'm Bukola Joe Kitumbi. Next week is another date.